together. We change the world.
Hello everyone, it's your boy Theo here with a should you pull tier list for Rinoa's BT cycle. Some disclaimer before we start, this tier list is just my opinion and is not a representation of strength. DFFOO is a fairly balanced game where you can make almost all units work in the correct team. If you have a favorite, always go for them. That said, this video might be helpful if you're playing on a stricter budget. And unless otherwise mentioned, all characters are assumed to have their full kit. I won't go too in-depth with each character's kit, so check out other content creators if you're interested in a more detailed breakdown of each character. For the first tier, we have Theo Approves. These are meta-defining characters that can potentially make it easier for you to clear events. Having them in your pocket can sometimes save you a bit of headache. Next is the You Decide tier. Character that is generally useful and can fit in many parties, or have easy FR conditions, or ones that work extremely well with minimal investments. Consider pulling these characters if you need to expand your roster. The final tier is Safe Skip, usually reserved for characters that doesn't have a unique gimmick, or characters that just require too much investment and setup just to be decent. First up is the Transcendence Tier 11 event featuring reworks for Rinoa, Shantoto, Deuce and Edward. Going from the safe skips, we have everyone but Rinoa. Shantoto gets the standard C90 DPS update, raising her damage to a more relevant value, but still not enough to justify investing in her BT+. Deuce and Edward are also given the standard C90 support rework, boosting their auras, damage and gauge charging. Concerto becomes an instant turn gauge charger for Deuce, as well as Hide for Edward. In the Theo Approves tier, we have the star of the cycle, Rinoa. If Tifa is the single target monster, then Rinoa is the AoE counterpart. She does require the full FR and BT investment to function properly, since her kit works off each other. Let's take a look at her FR conditions. Plus 20% when using a magic ability, another plus 20% when there's an active overhead buff, and plus 20% when own HP is below 100% at the end of turn. Rinoa herself gets an additional 20% bonus for the HP condition. The force attack itself conveniently consumes 30% of party HP upon activation, priming everyone in the party for the HP condition. It also has a party HP damage up aura during force time. Like most characters, she is the best driver of her own force time, and she can hawk all 10 turns effectively, but she does require her BT to effectively dish out damage. Her BT unlocks a brand new attack called Ultima. It's her new transform magical HP attack that consumes her own HP, making it perfect for her force condition. I've put a link to a fantastic guide by Serial that shows you how to pilot Rinoa's force time. Check it out in the description below. Before we move on to the next event, like the video if you enjoy this kind of tier list and subscribe for more DFFOO content. Next event is Aerith Intersecting Wheels, featuring reworks for Kurasame and Aerith. Kurasame goes into the You Decide tier for his ever-relevant LD call. It's still one of the better HP damage up calls in the game that comes with an ice enchant that may or may not be useful depending on elemental lockouts. It can be a good idea to nab his EX and LD just to have his call. In Theo Approves, we have Aerith. The reason I put Aerith at the top is because she's a very slot efficient unit. Aerith does a lot for a support and can do so without disrupting the party by hogging buff or debuff slots. She has party-wide debuff evasion and enemy buff prevention, all efficiently packaged into her LD. She does come with an FR that is almost identical to Sholata's, plus 40% when using a transform Brave or HP attack, and plus 20% when battering the party, with Aerith getting a bonus 20% off this condition. Her force ability is notable for being the first FR that does not deal damage. It's an instant turn party heal and battery, but to compensate, her force time starts at 150% instead of the usual 120%. It also grants party HP regen during force time. While she has a fantastic FR, it does require some team building to be used effectively. We would need a character with Transform Brave or HP attack that can battery, but those are usually another support characters like Yuna or Charlotta. That said, if you tend to enjoy a more offensive rushdown teams, Aerith is not a necessary pull. Characters like Tifa and Rinoa are able to ignore many mechanics due to their sheer damage output, so Aerith's gimmick is often not necessary. Although I would highly suggest getting at least her LD weapon if you are interested in her niche. Third event of the month features reworks for Balthier and Golbez. Golbez falls under Safe Skip alongside Shantoto, both lamenting over the fact that they just can't do what Rinoa does. In the You Decide tier, we have Balthier. He gets the standard C90 DPS rework, but then we have this unique and funny FR. Plus 40% when attacking enemy with no buffs, and plus 20% when using a range ability. Finally, we have a crazy plus 80% when removing at least one enemy buff, and this includes dispelling from often attacks. When using his Force ability, Balthier cleanses all debuffs from the party and also steals 3 buffs from all enemies. Most of the time, his FR provides an easy plus 60% HP damage bonus to the party. But in events with frequent enemy buffing, Balthier can transcend into this meme god status, especially when paired with often attackers with a vanilla sphere. When Balthier works, he really works, allowing the party to rack up HP damage bonus real fast. We do have one more GL exclusive event that features an unknown FR. We don't know for sure yet what it is, but in JP, Arden is the one getting his FR. So let's take a look at his conditions just in case. Plus 20% when inflicting a break with a bonus 20% if it's Arden, and another plus 20% when using a melee ability with a bonus 10% for Arden. During force time, enemy recovers from break every 3 turns instead of the usual 5. It's an almost identical to Vayne's FR, but Arden focuses more on on-turn damage. He falls into the You Decide tier. He's an entirely self-sufficient DPS that has an impressive track record of soloing some transcendent stage like tier 10 and tier 11. So my pull plan for the cycle, I am spending gems on Rinoa's banner. I would PT the BT day 1 if I have to. I'll also pull for Aerith using tickets. Balthier is interesting enough too, but I don't have a gun ultima weapon, so I'll just throw a small number of tickets his way and just hope for the best. That's it for the tier list and my pull plan for Rinoa's BT cycle. What is your pull plan for the cycle? Let me know in the comments. If there's anything you disagree with, let me know as well. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!